Marc Raimondi for ESPN, joined today by Kayla Harrison, whose long free agent journey ended finally Tuesday. Kayla, you have re-signed with PFL, a multi-year agreement, a lucrative deal from what I've heard, and I'm going to ask you more about that. But first things first, are you glad this whole process is over? You've been a free agent, I think, since October, since you won the PFL women's lightweight title, your second one. Is it good that this thing is all behind you now?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely.
Obviously, the return to the cage is kind of what it's all about. I know that you've been dying to get back in there finally. Any idea when that might be and who it might be against?
I don't have an opponent yet. I believe that the season starts in April. So April or May, I think, is when I'm going to fight again for the first time. And I'm jacked up for it.
What can you tell us about this new contract? It was said, I believe, in the press release that PFL issued that it's a multi-year contract. I think that you're getting paid pretty well, but what can you tell us about it?
It's a great contract. I think that in terms of MMA deals, it's historic in the sense that it's guaranteed money. You know, it's money that most fighters. There are a lot of moving parts in the MMA world and in MMA contracts. And there are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that many MMA fans don't know about or don't understand. The legal aspects, the structure of contracts, the way they're written, how things come into play. And I'm thankful and grateful that this contract is very much in my favor and you know, secures a very healthy payday for me and my family.
So when you say guaranteed money, what does that mean exactly?
That means win, lose, or draw, I'm guaranteed a certain amount of money. And that means that if the PFL is unable to secure certain fights for me, I'm guaranteed a certain amount of money no matter what, even if I don't fight.
Okay. That would be unique because in most MMA contracts, it's you can't get paid unless you fight.
Right.
And they said it was multi-years. Can you say how long that might be?
So this year I'm going to fight in the season. And then next year, the goal is to have some really big fights with top dogs. You know, the PFL has assured me and promised me that they want to help me grow my legacy and my career just as much as I do. They're excited to go out and put on big fights. Not that the season isn't amazing. I believe in the season. I believe in the format. I think it's an amazing thing. I think it's the future of MMA. But in order for me to get to where I want to be, I'm going to have to fight some stars, some legends.
I do want to ask you about that as well. And I think there was an exchange with Chris Cyborg on Twitter on Tuesday. But I've heard from people that this contract that you got from PFL, it makes you one of the highest paid female fighters, I think, per fight in MMA history. Is that accurate? Can you give us kind of a ballpark of, you know, how much you might be making?
Yeah, I am. I don't know the entire history of women's MMA, so I can't comment on that. But I know that right now in this modern day MMA, I'm the highest paid female fighter.
Right now, like today, no one is getting paid more than Kayla Harrison on the women's side.
No.
So you have to imagine that would be, you know, 7 figures per fight. Is that safe to say? Yes.
I don't know.
I'm just asking.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, like legally speaking, but I will say that I don't make just $1 million for a win in the tournament.
Okay. So you're already a millionaire by the time you get to the finals.
I've been a millionaire, Marc.
Well,
but again, I'm very blessed. You know, I think that I worked really, really, really hard to get to this point I remember being 6 years old and standing on a podium for the first time, you know, getting to hold a trophy that was as big as me and winning my first judo tournament and thinking, man, I want to do this. This is it. This is what I want to do. And waking up at 12 years old and doing 2-a-days in middle school. And I've been doing 2-a-days for over half of my life. I think about that, I think about the discipline and the dedication it took to get to where I am. And I think about how many times I have felt that, how many times I've been an underdog, how many times it seemed impossible to get to where I want to go. It has seemed like the mountain is too high, or the journey is too hard, or the road is too long. No one from America had ever won an Olympic gold medal in the sport. No one thought it was possible. I mean, compared to the other countries, we didn't have the resources. We didn't have the athletes. We didn't have the funding. We didn't have whatever. So when I look at my life and I look at how far I've come from being that little girl and having that dream, climbing those mountains, I'm very excited. I realize that my journey has been mine, and it's been an amazing one, and I wouldn't want it to be any other way. And I know that the next questions coming are going to be about, well, what do you think about, people who say you stayed in the PFL and you're scared to fight Cyborg, or you're scared to do this, or why didn't you go to the UFC, or and it used to really bother me. It used to bother me that people would have the audacity to think that me, Kayla Harrison, is scared of someone or scared of something. I have lived my entire life out loud. I have lived my entire life aiming so high, trying to do things that people haven't done, that I used to get so upset. I used to think, like, how dare you? And I used to want to defend myself over and over again. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'll fight her anywhere. It's on site. Like, that's how upset and frustrated I would get. And I think about it now. I think about all the things that people don't know. I think about all the moving parts that go into play. And I think about my own personal journey. And I'm not on anybody else's time. I'm on God's time. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone but myself. I'm not here to impress people, and it doesn't matter. Even if I did sign with the UFC, you're taking a pay cut, you're not taking care of your family. Even if I did sign with Bellator, you're not fighting Amanda, you're scared of Amanda. Even if I did stay with the PFL, all you care about is money, you're not here for the legacy, you're all talk. Like, no matter what I do, someone somewhere is always going to have something to say about it. So I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to continue to live my life out loud. I'm going to continue to dare great. I'm going to continue to try and inspire. I'm going to continue to try and shatter ceilings. I don't want to be the only fighter who gets paid $1 million. I want all of the fighters to get paid what they deserve. I think about all of the fighters who have put in years of work, who are not making enough to make ends meet. And I want that to change. And I think that it changes by me saying, I know my value. I know my worth. I'm going to test free agency. I'm going to see what it is. And I did. It worked out. It worked out in my favor. I got paid even more than I was initially going to get paid. I'm happy with it. And I'm ready to get back in there and do what I love. I'm ready to get back in there and keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep aiming and striving for greatness. I know I'm not the greatest yet. I know I'm not the greatest of all time. I know I'm not there. I know that there are a lot of moving parts in order for me to get to where I want to go, but I have faith that when the time is right, my chance will come and I'll be ready.
So let's get into this a little bit, because you had a little bit of a back and forth with Chris Cyborg on Tuesday after the news came out that you re-signed with PFL. That is a fight that you were actively seeking, was it not? Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're correct.
So what happened? Like, I know there's a matching rights situation. I don't know if a lot of people know what that is. Can you explain exactly how, like, the machinations worked here?
So basically I would be what you would call a restricted free agent. So I had the right to go out into the free agency and to test the market and to see what was available. I received offers. And I received an offer that I was happy with. I received an offer from Bellator that I wanted to pursue and I wanted to sign. It was very lucrative, short, not a super long contract, but it was basically what I have with the PFL. But because I received that offer from Bellator, per my contract, I show that contract to PFL and they have the right to say, okay, we will match this, or, hey, we wish you the best of luck. And if they match it, I stay.
Right. Right.
That's what we agreed upon in my last contract.
And part of your contract that could have come about with Bellator, was Chris Cyborg a part of that? Was a fight with her a part of that?
Yes.
And it would have been soon. It would have been like this year, the next few months, maybe.
Yes.
Is there, I know that you're happy to, have gotten paid. Let's be clear. Kayla got paid. I know you're happy to return to PFL because that is the homegrown promotion, right? Where you've been. Any level of disappointment that fight is not going to come together, at least right now. Maybe it will in the future, but right now it probably cannot.
I mean, initially, it's just the ups and downs of it, right? It's just the roller coaster ride of that, like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to sign here and I'm going to fight this person on this, like the roller coaster and roller coaster and emotions of getting ready and preparing for that and getting psyched up for that, only for it to not come to fruition, which is, again, it's fine. I know that this is all part of my journey. I'm happy with the way things played out. I'm excited to get back in the cage with the PFL in May. But initially I was disappointed for sure. I want to test myself. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid, like I said, to live out loud and to dare great and you know what? Like, I wanted to fight Cyborg. Everybody knows that. It's not a secret.
There have been reports that Cyborg might be a free agent coming up, and Peter Murray, PFL CEO, said that, and you mentioned this earlier in the interview, that one of the plans moving forward for PFL is to do super fights, to do pay-per-view super fights. So that opportunity, that window, Harrison versus Cyborg, Cyborg versus Harrison, still open, correct?
Yep, it is. And I was, I talked with Don the other night after I signed the contract, and he let me know, like, listen, we're behind you. We support you. We want to make this fight. You want to make this fight. We're going to go out after Cyborg aggressively to try and make this fight happen. They don't care if they have to co-promote, cross-promote. They don't care if it's, in my backyard or at ATT or like on the moon. They don't care. Like, they want to make it happen just as much as I do. That's what I've been told. That's what I've been promised. So that makes me feel good. My promotion believes in me. I believe in my promotion. We're going to work hard to make sure that the fans get the fight that they want.
What was your interactions like with the UFC during this whole process?
Good. Good interactions.
They did offer you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not quite in the same ballpark?
No, it was a great deal. And I think, again, I was very pleased to hear that it's an offer that hasn't really happened before, but I think that the guarantee is a little bit different. I don't know how to say this. It was a great offer, but getting into all of the moving parts, getting into the behind the scenes, getting into all of the little things that people may not understand or know about, it didn't make sense and the timing wasn't right. And also, it doesn't matter because PFL would have matched that one too.
Right. I know that it's been a topic, for the last several months and maybe even the last several years. You and Amanda Nunes, she has since left the gym. We've spoken about this a little bit before when I was down at ATT a few weeks ago. Was that ever something that might have been on the table for you if the UFC offer ended up being the one? Could that have happened in 2022, you and Amanda?
I mean, everyone was doing everything in their power to make sure it didn't, you know, I'll tell you that. My manager.
Who is everyone? Who is everyone?
Dan, my manager, all of the coaches at AT, all of my advisors, all of the people that I'm close to, obviously didn't. Ali, out of respect for ATT, was trying to be respectful and wasn't pushing to make it happen. My coaches didn't want it to happen. Dan didn't want it to happen. So it was not really something that I was thinking about majorly. I mean, I think about it all the time because I think she's the greatest. So like, I think about it, but it wasn't something that I felt confident was going to happen.
What was that? What was that? Well, let me ask you this. So now, I mean, and Amanda has since left the gym now, since all this stuff happened. Does that change things? Does that change the attitudes of the people around you that maybe this fight could come to fruition down the line?
Yeah.
And that's still a fight that you want?
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be a little while.
I don't know how many fights Amanda has left on her contract either.
Is that a fight that you would go to PFL and say, hey, can we try to make this happen too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, listen, I think this is all going to get like drama, but I have respect for both Amanda and Cyborg. I think they're amazing fighters. I don't know Cyborg personally, but from what I hear, she's a good human. She gives back. She leads by example. She's a great champion. She uses her platform to try and make a difference in the world. I don't have anything bad to say about her, but I want to fight her. Again, Amanda, I know her. She's a great person. She's a great champion. She's never been anything but good to me. I love her. Her family, her and Nina are awesome people. Her daughter's amazing. I think that, again, model champion, someone I aspire to be like, but I want to fight her. I want to fight the best because I want to be the best. You know.
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm not asking to start any drama because I'm asking because you have said that is your goal.
It's just a really sensitive topic, right? Like it's a sensitive topic that Amanda left the gym. It's a sensitive topic. Like I know a lot of people's feelings were hurt. I know that a lot of people were shocked, including me. I know that it's just business is business. I think Amanda's great. I would still want to do the fight and keep things respectable and perform like true martial artists, you know. But of course I would love to fight Amanda.
Yeah, and let's, I mean, to even go further, you know, you're in a position and so are they where there isn't a whole lot of depth to these weight classes, women's 145, women's 155. It just so happens that two of the best fighters in those weight classes, you and Amanda Nunes, happen to train together. That's kind of by luck or what have you. But if someone is going to try to establish a legacy, the roads go through the three of you, Cyborg, Nunes, Harrison, right? Is that, I mean, it's unfortunate that there is not more.
I don't even know. I think it's funny that everyone has put my name up there. Like I never put my name up there on my own. I never said, oh, I'm like Amanda, I'm like Cyborg. I just want everyone to be very clear on that. I said, I want to be the greatest. I never said I'm amongst the talk of the greatest. And I think it's such a huge honor for people to say that about me. It's such a compliment that they consider me at their tier. I believe I am personally. Deep inside, I know that I have what it takes. We're all three in different promotions. Like this is it's a tragedy. Like it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah, because everyone wants to see those fights. Even the Nunes Cyborg rematch, I think people would love to see. Because it's great for the fans. I mean, everyone wins. The promotions win. You guys win because you get to further, you know, your legacies against one another. You know, maybe I'm preaching to the choir here because I know that you feel the same way.
Yeah. This is what I want too. You know, that this is, yeah. I know that everything's going to work out. I have faith that it's going to work out.
So let's say the next 18 months for you, PFL tournament, women's lightweight, 2022. You try to win a third $1 million championship plus the other, money that you're making from your purses. So you're gonna make some big money this year, likely. And then next year, super fight with Cyborg, whether it's in PFL cross promotion. Is that the goal? Season this year, Cyborg sometime early in 2023.
Yeah, that's my goal. We'll see if the other side of the coin is willing and able.
What was that between you and her on Twitter on Tuesday? And did she block you?
Yeah, she blocked me. I don't know. I made a joke. I was really more like talking to, I was just trying to, I was trying to have a crack at the king of cringe, she's there training, I guess, with Henry. And I made a joke about him only having one gold medal and saying that he couldn't save her. And then she said something about judo beats wrestling or something like that, or wrestling beats judo. And I said, lucky for me, I know both. And then she blocked me. And then Henry was like, and started chirping and saying that something about if crushing cans was an Olympic sport, I'd be Michael Phelps. And then I said that, no, I'd be in Bellator fighting the chick next to you or something. I don't know. It got out of hand a little bit, but I mean, it's just like,
aren't you and Henry friends? I thought you guys were friends.
I thought we were. No, it's part of my personality is talk like at the gym. If anyone who's ever been in a gym environment or that kind of like culture understands that, like, it's like a way to bond, you like make fun of each other, not in a nasty, negative way. Like I would never try and be hurtful, but like I talk crap to all of my friends, and I don't want the fans to get it misconstrued or think that I'm trying to be hurtful or trying to be disrespectful or trying to be inappropriate. For me, it's all in good fun. Like I'm not trying to, it's all in good fun. But this is what's so frustrating about the sport of MMA and our society in general. Like I say one stupid thing about Henry having one gold medal, and like I talk a little bit of crap to Cyborg and Henry, and that's like everyone's talking about it. Meanwhile, I do an interview with Ariel and I talk about suicide and sexual abuse, and I talk about overcoming obstacles and goal setting, and I talk about all of these things that really matter to me. And that's not going to be breaking news. That's not going to be the headlines. That's not going to be what people talk about. Like, it's so frustrating to me. It's disheartening at times because I want to be a light. I want to be a positive role model. I want to be an example. I want to change the world. And I get more likes for talking shit than I do for trying to change the world. Like, how is that possible?
Well, you knew this going to MMA. That was one of the reasons why you were reluctant in the first place, because of that very thing.
I mean, I think I guess I thought I knew, but I had no idea. I thought I knew that. Like, I get it. But I also want to change it so very badly. Like, I really want to change the culture and to change the narrative and to write my own story and show people that it doesn't have to be like this like trashy thing. It doesn't have to be like that. We could change the world. You could too, Marc. You could too. Instead of writing titles that say Kayla Harrison re-signs with PFL despite UFC offer, you could change the world, Marc. You could write about my story. You could write about me being sexually abused and my foundation and what I'm going to do with the millions of dollars I'm making and why I want to fight Cyborg and why legacy is so important to me. And you could also change the world.
What will you do with those millions?
It doesn't sell. Doesn't sell, does it?
That's
what
not
am
true.
I going to do? Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to really starting to push with my foundation. I'm going to put a lot of money into that, and I'm going to get a CEO for it. And I'm going to start to do some grassroots stuff with it. I already have a book that's an educational piece. I'm going to start to push that. I want the book to be in the school system. So I'm going to try and find a school close to here that we can sort of do a test run on and say, okay, all the 7th graders are going to read this book, and then they're going to do a project on mental health at the end of this book. And I'm going to see how I'm going to write a curriculum for it, and I'm going to see how the curriculum works out and see if it's beneficial to the school system. And if so, I'm going to go from that one to that one to that. And I mean, I have all these ideas, and I just don't have a lot of time. So I have to find someone that I trust that's great, who can help me turn this thing into a reality and start to really push the change that I want to see in the world. I obviously have 2 kids and titles to win and fights to win. So I have to find a way to healthily manage all of this so that I don't burn out.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. And please keep us in the loop on
Oh yeah, I'm sure you're dying to.
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what the headline of this one is.
Well, first of all, I don't write headlines, Kayla. So
okay, Addison, we'll see.
Addison doesn't write headlines either. Leave Addison out of this. Last couple of things, Kayla. Georgemosbydoll, Colby Covington, former teammate of yours, big fight last Saturday. Reaction to how that all went down with Covington winning by decision.
Yeah, I was bummed. I think that it's, the thrill, like I said the other day, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. It's, this is a real thing we do. It's not scripted. It's not pre-orchestrated. Colby went out there and did had a great performance. George went out there and he was a little bit flat. And I think that the wrestling, we all knew it was going to be a problem. I think it's hard to wrestle at that level if you haven't done it your entire life. And I think that wrestling is a little bit of a cheat code in MMA, like I couldn't help but think as I was watching the fight, thank God I'm a grappler, like that's how I felt. And I feel bad. My heart goes out to George, and but I know he'll use failure as his fuel. I know that he'll come back. I know that he's, despite all of it, he'll find a way to turn this into positive motivation. And I know that he's also super grateful. And I know that he from where he has come in his life to where he is now, I know for a fact he never thought he would be doing what he's doing, making what he's making, living the life he's living. And I think that he knows he's blessed, and everything happens for a reason. And who knows what this is going to catapult him into doing? Who knows how he's able to use this to change lives, hopefully.
Okay, one last thing, very important. Rumor is that your teammate, Paige Van Zandt, is going to be signing a contract with All Elite Wrestling. What do you know about this, and how excited are you?
I haven't heard anything. I saw Paige last night at the gym, but I didn't. How excited am I?
How excited are you? This is very exciting.
Hey, I want Paige to be happy. So if Paige is happy, I'm happy. It's to each their own, Marc, to each their own.
Are you going to watch?
I always support my teammates.
There you go.
Dan
Lambert's an AEW star every week. This guy is on.
I know. Can you believe this is the world we live in? Like somebody gave Dan Lambert a platform and let him say whatever he wants. This is, oh boy.
What a world. We'll wrap it there. Kayla, thank you so much. Congratulations on the new contract. Looking forward to seeing you back in Cage very shortly. Thanks again.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.